The O-Zone.
Welcome to the O-Zone Podcast with Jaguars senior writer John Oehser. All right, welcome into this final 2026 off-season O-Zone Podcast, and I'll get to it quickly. I'm joined by Jaguars quarterback and co-host today, unpaid, by the way, quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Thanks for doing this. I know you're trying to get out of here for the off-season, so it's much appreciated.
Of course. No, glad to be here.
The first thing we do in sort of a new format this year, Trevor, 6 hot minutes and 3 cold takes. We'll go quickly. First of all, I hear congratulations are in order.
Yes, got a baby boy on the way. At the end of the year,
excited about that, I assume.
Very excited. Yeah, we've obviously we got a daughter, Shay,
right.
17 months old now, so it's going to get a little bit busier for us, but it's great. I mean, as you know, it's like having a kid is awesome and been such a blessing for us. So super thankful our family's growing, and we wanted them to be somewhat close in age, so they'll be about 2 years apart.
Yeah.
So. I mean, I get a little worried about the boy that he's going to be crazy because my daughter is pretty wild. So
more pressure on the boy in about 15 years, by the way.
Yeah, No, he'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Just excited, obviously. Like I said, just blessed for sure.
Well, congratulations, and I know the fans are very excited for you guys. OTAs end this week. Sort of back to football. You talked about it a little earlier today in your final media availability. But just talk about what you think you guys got out of this last 3 or 4 or really 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been awesome. Just really impressed with the whole team, how guys have come out ready to work, which isn't surprising, but I think it's always something that you want to accomplish. And it's a short time, right? And I think it's a big part of the year where you can gain an edge over your opponents because everyone's doing it, but what's the quality of the reps that you're getting? And I think ours were really high.
The intentionality, if you will.
Yeah, very intentional. I mean, guys were playing at a high level offensively. The jump we took from last spring to now is, I mean, astronomical as far as what the plays that we're installing, what we're getting to in our system, the timing, guys being on the same page, the protection, the communication up front, just all that stuff is so much further along because we're a year in the system. So I'm very happy with the work we've gotten done so far. Obviously, we have 2 days left, but it'll be a great reset. Obviously, everybody goes on their own. We're going to train and come back together in training camp, but I feel like we got much better in these 2 months.
The topic, and this is the third before we move on to the actual interview. You won't notice much of a difference, but maybe I will. The theme of OTAs has been BTJ. And Liam and you guys have both talked about the chemistry built. How much of a priority was that early, or is it just sort of happened because you guys are on the same page?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's if you're not intentional about building something, it's not going to happen probably. Right. So there is the priority in my mind of, I mean, we all know the type of player BT is and what he's capable of, and so talented. And I felt like last year at times we just weren't on the same page for whatever reason. A lot of different things come up. So a main priority for me was we just got to get on the same page on all of our routes, our timing, and I feel like we've taken a huge step in that area. And then shots down the field, always giving him a chance, putting it out there where he can run under it. I mean, he's so fast. He's running by guys all the time for the last 3 years. So I think a lot of that was, looking back also at myself and saying, okay, where can I improve and get better, and how can I get him the ball more accurately on time down the field, give him opportunities to go run under and make plays because he's such a talented player. We just have to find those opportunities more. So we talked about it a lot, me, BT, Liam, all of us, and just emphasizing that part of our offense, and it's starting to pay off. And it's just the beginning. We still have a lot of time to work on it, but I'm very pleased with the steps we took. We've hit a bunch of shots down the field, and BT's looked awesome. Not just that, though. I mean, just running the whole route tree, and I think him feeling healthy and feeling good and trusting his body and being out there and just feeling good has made a big difference. As a guy who's played through a lot of stuff, and being healthy, I know, has made a big difference from him. And I'm just glad he's feeling good and that we got off to such a great start in OTAs. Okay, we'll get into the meat of the interview now. Year 6, man. Crazy. Yeah,
Does it feel
year 6. Yes and no.
Yes,
I mean,
sure.
It feels like I've been through a lot of different, seasons and change, and I've seen so
As
much.
you have.
here, which, I have, but it also feels like I still feel young. I mean, I still am young, but, I don't feel much older than the rookies coming in. It's just crazy. The years fly by, but these guys come in and, of course I have the experience.
You're not feeling like old man Trevor yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I have the experience and I'm a vet, but I still feel like I'm the young guy just because I came in at such a young age that I still kind of feel that way. But it's just crazy how fast it goes, and obviously excited about what we're building here. And it's just been a lot of fun the last, year or so.
Yeah, and you mentioned that a couple minutes ago, and I was going to ask you, in January of last year, so much uncertainty, another reset. You didn't know Liam yet. You sort of knew Tony, but not in the position that he's in. Didn't know James. What a difference 15 or 16 months make, I imagine, on many levels for you.
Yeah, huge difference. I mean, just the feeling in the building. Obviously, last year, everyone was new, and you're just trying to figure out. You're trying to learn people, build the relationships. You don't have that connection or that relationship with the staff yet because everyone's new and everyone's trying to figure it out. So that piece you're working on, and you're also getting a new system, and you're trying to figure out just how to do your job and how to, be prepared every day. And there's a lot of work that goes into that. And then on top of that, rehabbing from, season-ending surgery and trying to get back healthy to where I feel like myself again. Like there was a lot of moving parts. And this year, not having a few of those and having the relationships, knowing the staff, having great relationships with them and with the guys on the team now that we've been together a year, some of the new players that came in, and just having the system down. There's so much more confidence when you step on the field of we know what we're doing. And it's never going to be perfect. There's things that we got to work on, and we're coached hard still. And
that's a real thing. You mentioned that a couple of times, just not having that learning curve. Again, you don't got it, but you know what to expect. You said you're miles ahead.
Exactly. And your preparation just looks a little bit different. You don't have to spend as much time on what the play is or just trying to learn the concepts and the progressions. You're spending a little more time. Of course, I'm always going through progressions and making sure I really know those like the back of my hand. But protection checks, what is the exact split on this route, like stuff that you just kind of end up overlooking when it's all new to you because you're taking in so much information. So there's so many more details that I can get involved in and communicating with the receivers. It's not like you're trying to just figure it out on your own. You're trying to put it all together and make sure we're all on the same page. With
the benefit of hindsight, how much of a difference was Liam's offense compared to what you'd done before? And again, I guess scale of 1 to 10, how much more comfortable with the cans, with everything you got to see?
I was so much more comfortable.
Right.
Obviously, this was the system's way different for me than what I've had before. I've had 2 other systems, but they were both really different. So it was overwhelming last spring when I was learning it, but I always could see. I've seen these other teams that have run and have had a ton of success for one.
So you liked the concept.
So I've always liked it, and I've seen the benefit of having the CAN system and all the motions and all the different things that we do. But when you're learning it, it is a lot to take on just for your brain. It's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of criteria of what you're looking for, and there's really no breather plays. Like, even the run plays, you're looking for all these different things to make sure you're in the right run.
Mentally, you're thinking as hard on a run play as you are a passing play.
It's just a lot more stressful mentally, and so I had to get used to that. And now, I feel so much more comfortable, and the stress level is so much lower. And the attention
memory now.
The attention to detail is super high though, so it's not like I'm relaxing out there. But as far as the confidence and knowing what I'm doing and not having to second guess or ask myself, wait, what am I looking for in this one? It's more now I'm paying attention to exactly how the defense is responding on motions and shifts, and so
it's got to be a cool feeling.
It's been fun. It really is cool, and I feel like I can play so much faster. Some of the progressions I'm getting to now are happening so much faster than they did a year ago. And I think it's cool to see the evolution of, not just myself, but also our skill guys buying into all the details and the route timing and being in the right spot, and you're seeing it pay off for us.
Did that, it would seem like that must have kicked in because you accelerated so heavily last half of last season. Did you feel that kick in last season, what you're talking about? Yeah.
I think that the settling into the system really started probably in the middle of the season.
Sure.
And I think a big part of that too was we the beginning of the year, we had a lot of different guys playing. We were shuffling around a lot. We had some
Yeah.
injuries. Brenton was hurt at one point. Obviously, Jacoby coming as a new guy, and Jacoby became a huge part of our offense and just so reliable.
Sure.
We really caught fire in the middle of the field with him and the things that he brought to the table when we got him. So that was a big part of it. And then also Parker
Right.
was established, and he was getting more and more confidence every day, and we were getting our chemistry and rhythm. And then obviously BT also went like this at the end of the
Right.
season. So it felt like it all just started to come together, and I think a big part of that was us all getting comfortable in the system, but also having a consistent starting lineup
Sure.
and set players that are playing, because it takes a lot of reps to get on the same page. And when you're moving and shuffling around a lot, it's hard to play super fast when you haven't had all the reps with every guy. So
Yeah.
I think that also got better and more solidified as the season went on.
Is there more there personally and offense-wise?
For this season,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot more. I mean, you look at what we did last year, and we finished the season great offensively as far as the numbers and stats, but we didn't really catch on until probably week 10
Sure.
or so. I mean, so there was
Yeah.
9 or 10 weeks, probably 9 games before that,
Right.
where we left a lot of meat on the bone. I mean, we were probably just an average offense the first half of the season.
Sure.
And the second half of the season, we were top offense in the league. So, I mean, you look at that, it's literally a whole extra half of the season,
Right.
where if we can play at the level that I know we can play at, and you do that over 9 more games, I mean, you look up and not
Right.
that it's about the numbers or any of that, but you're going to look at, I mean, if we
The
can
body
do
of
that, we
work,
should
sure.
be one of the best offenses in the league.
Yeah.
And I know we're capable of that.
Gotcha. I'm going to quiz you here. Can you name the 3 guys on the roster who were here before you?
Josh Hines Allen. I know I can. I'm trying to. How am I blanking? Devon Hamilton.
Yep.
There's a few. Ross.
Right, Ross.
Logan Cook.
Cook.
Okay, it's 4.
I think that's it.
That's it, right?
Right. Which
Okay.
is pretty.
Yeah.
Shows you how quick things go in this league. A quarterback's always a leader, but that in mind, with you being a 6-year quarterback, so many guys you were here when they walked in. Do you feel that? I mean, I'm not even sure what I'm getting at, but it just shows you how quickly things change in this league, and if you weren't the guy before, you're the guy now that everybody looks to.
Yeah, I mean, it is a good thing, I think, to your point, to look at and always kind of reflect and take a step back, because you're right, it changes so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as a quarterback, you're naturally expected to be a leader and step into that role, and just because it's the nature of the position. And I think that's a great thing in a lot of ways.
Sure.
But you also have to, answer the call as well, and
Right.
step up and lead at different times and use your voice. And I think understanding that, I am the guy that guys look to, and I have been here a long time, and it is a good thing to note and to pay attention to, because like I said, I still feel like I'm the young guy, and in a good way though. It's not that I'm comfortable leading with my teammates and following or leading by example, but it is a good thing to remind yourself of, because there is a lot of new faces, and I'm a guy that's been here for a long time, and and I'm grateful for that too. I mean, it's not many guys can say that they've been in a spot
Sure.
for going on 6 years. It's this business is a crazy business that changes a lot, and so that is something I'm very thankful for, because this is a great place and I want to be here.
What's next for you in terms of development, personally as a quarterback? What do you want to see from yourself this year?
I think just that mastery of the system that I am well on my way to doing. It's never accomplished,
Which is a constant,
but
right?
it's a
That's-
constant
yeah.
work in progress. But it is that chase and that perfectionist mindset, that attention to detail. And I've learned a lot really from this staff in the last 12 months of just how to do that and what does that look like on a daily basis.
Okay.
Because it is something you have to learn how to prepare. And I've always been
How
a
to
guy
schedule
that's-
your week, right? How
you have to schedule.
right.
You have to be very consistent. You have to find your rhythm and routine. And I think just embracing all of that and having a plan, I've gotten a lot better at. Always been a guy that's worked hard, and I'm willing to study and watch all the film I need to watch, but maybe didn't have the clearest direction,
Sure.
or maybe it's a little disorganized at time. And I feel like I'm just getting more and more dialed in on my routine and what I need to do to be prepared. And to be the player I know I can be, because that's the that's the piece. I know physically I can do everything I need to do. It's playing sharp mentally and being consistent. So I think that leads me to the next part, I guess, would be the consistency piece of being that player that I was the back half of the season for our offense the entire season. And I have a lot of confidence that we're going to do that, and that's that takes everyone. So I think the work that we've started in OTAs, we're on our way, but still a lot more work to do.
You never don't seem like you're in a good place, but is this the best place mentally going in that you have felt in an off season?
Yeah, I mean, I feel really confident. I mean, there was some confidence, I'd say, also like after my second year going into my third year.
Right.
After that season we had when we kind of picked up some momentum at the end of that year. But I would just say, based on the steps that we've taken this spring, I'm even more confident.
I got you.
There's one thing to be confident going into the OTAs because you're just kind of riding that wave of what happened in the season. But to maintain that through the spring and to really feel like we got significantly better as an offense, I have confidence in that because I know how the coaches have challenged us. And I got to really give props to them because they have approached this spring very different than last spring because that was our first one together. So they're trying to just overload us with information and trying to teach the system. And now it's almost felt like we've been game planning every week and we're changing things and we're trying new things. Right. And it's been cool to be a part of that. And it's challenged us players because the play calls are long, like an in-season feel, because those are longer than when you usually install.
Okay, gotcha.
It feels like a game plan, and I think it's put a little bit more on us mentally, and I think the guys have handled it really well, which will help prepare us. 2
silly questions before we get to 3 more questions, and then we'll be done. This is shorter than that sounds. Do your highlights come up on your phone?
Yeah, I see.
And how often do you see Kansas City?
That play?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one a ton. Not as much recently, but yeah, I'll get some, obviously I follow all the Jags stuff, so I'll see some of that stuff. And these
How often do you watch them and how often do you just scroll past?
I like to watch the season highlights at the end of the year.
Okay.
So it's just cool to look back on the season and it's fun to look at the highlights and the big moments and stuff. So I'll watch those, once or twice at the end of the year just to kind of see it all in one video. Yeah. But a lot of times, scrolling through, you see week to week and different now you're seeing practice stuff. Right. It's whatever that's worth. But it keeps the fans engaged.
Are you still amazed at the KC play?
It's crazy. Just
how it came.
It's funny because everyone asked me about that one, and
I'll bet. Yeah.
I love that we won the game, and that was the I guess go ahead score.
Yeah.
But I kind of hate how it happened because it's just such a crazy play. Right. It's not clean football.
But it showed some, I guess moxie, if you will, or awareness to make it happen.
For sure. No, there's some good parts of it too. But it's it's definitely not my favorite play from the season. Sure. Just because, typically you
Which one would be?
Clean. That's a tough one. I'd say I really liked my throw to Parker. It was against the Colts.
Okay. I
got hit right in the face as I threw it going across the middle.
Yep.
That one or the spin out one to Tim Patrick against the Colts at home.
How about the one, and I'm not going to keep you forever, but the one to Parker against Arizona, did that matter?
In the back of the end zone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was big time.
That one was nice. That was a great play by Parker, too, coming flat and saving room in the back of the end zone.
Right.
That was, I feel like, the first game we really started to click in the passing game, which is funny because I threw 3 picks that game. But just trusting it.
But you never dwelled on that.
No.
It was interesting. You never let that bother you.
Yeah. Just I feel like trusting it, letting it go. Some huge plays by guys in critical moments, like the Parker's catch in the end zone, the catch on the sideline in the 2-minute drill. Mm-hmm. Jacoby had a couple huge plays. I felt like that's when me and Liam talked after the game, and he's made some great points. He's like, you can't worry about the interceptions as far as the step that we took in the passing. This was a huge step, and I totally agree because that's how I felt. I'm like, I'm pissed about the turnovers, but I felt like seeing it, trusting it, letting it go. That was when it really started to go the right direction.
Yeah, I could talk all day on that. I won't keep you. Final thing I want to do today, I answer questions every day in the Ozone mailbag. Many of them are about you, so I ask you 3 quick ones.
Okay.
Jaden from North Carolina State, which I know you love. writes, my sister and I were having this discussion. Who is the first guy in the building? I assume it's Trevor, but who could it be? Every day.
First guy in the building. Yeah. It's not me. I think Parker gets here super early.
Okay.
I mean,
So
I don't know every
guy.
day but he's here early. I mean, there's sometimes he's here at like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Like,
that's pretty revealing.
I'm not going to beat that.
No.
I'm not going to beat that.
Not going to try to beat it.
No. Usually in the season, I get here early. I'm not the first one in. I'm usually here pretty late, though.
Sure.
Usually the last guy or one of the last guys out.
Yeah.
So everyone has their own routines and things, but yeah, it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat some of these guys in here.
4:30. No, I'm not even going to try to beat that. I'm not even going to think about beating it. Another Steve from Nocatee writes, in years past, I remember hearing about some Jags getting together in the off season and working out. Did I snooze and miss it, or did it not happen? There seems to be better chemistry between the receivers and Trevor. Long-winded way of saying you guys do work out in the off season after this. How important is it? And you mentioned it today. It's more about camaraderie than anything.
Yeah, I think it's important. You know, I've done it every year pretty much since I've been here, and we've gone to different places, and sometimes we've done big trips, sometimes we've done stuff that's easier to, more local. So I don't really think it matters as much where you go and what you do. It's just about being together. And the training's important. Like, I think everyone, to stay on their schedule and to stay in shape and stay sharp, we need to be training and throwing, but it is more for just hanging out, getting to know the guys that you're going to be playing with and the guys that you're now teammates with, for the rookies that have come in, even guys that have been here. It is a constant. The relationship piece of it that's like, as an older player, I'm starting to realize you have to put a lot of effort into building relationships with new guys, because
especially as you get older, right?
Yeah, because you get older and there's a lot of differences in your life. Like, I have a family now, and young guys coming in single, and you have to find ways to connect and learn about them and know who they are and build a relationship. And I think that's something that it doesn't just happen. You have to put effort into it. So this is a way to do it and spend a couple days together and go out to dinner, go do something as a group. Obviously we're going to train together, and I think it's valuable for sure.
Final question, and I mean that this time. Brittany from Duval writes, my question is to Trevor Lawrence. What shampoo do you use?
What shampoo? The one I used is, I don't believe it's being sold anymore. It was called B. B-E-E. It was a small. I get from the salon I get my hair cut at. She was selling it, so I don't know if they're still selling it though.
You got to switch up. Can you believe what a topic your hair has been this all season?
The fake haircut really got people. Well, because then everyone asked me, they're like, that AI haircut got me, and I was like, well, it wasn't AI, it was a wig.
Right.
And then they have even more questions. I'm like, I should have just said it was AI.
Phone blew up that night. I'm sure yours did. How many texts that night?
A lot. My buddies were like, they were like, please no.
Trevor, I can't thank you enough for doing this. Good luck next season. We'll see you in training camp. Thank you for doing the Ozone podcast today. It means a lot.
Great to be here as always, John.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.